All right, so the question asked by the homie Shonen Scholar is how powerful or how overpowered can we make Mala Mala Jong? And for those who do not know who Mala Mala Jong is, he is a mystical creature that was created in the world of Xiaolin Showdown, who was entirely constructed of Shingon Wu, Malin Tin, as well as just top A1 goonery. Now, to make this thing as unnecessarily powerful as I want to make it, I'm going to need a little bit of time, so please bear with me for this video. So what I'm going to do first is go over what he actually has, and then we'll start adding on to things as necessary. For his breastplate, he has the 2-ton tunic, which is a defensive Shingon Wu that can negate just about any physical or energy-based attack. The ice around his neck is the Eye of Dashi. It allows him to shoot lightning bolts, and he can produce infinite amounts of energy. That Michael Jackson glove is called the Fist of Tebigong. It allows him to deal devastating blows. It can honestly just punch a hole through just about anybody it hits. That blue Versace sash you see around his torso is called the third arm sash. It gives him an extra arm because for some reason they didn't want this dude to have an actual arm. But don't worry, I'm going to fix that. The new Yeezy this guy is wearing is called the Jet Butsu. It allows him to defy gravity, walk up walls, fly, and just, anything else like that. The shiesty he has on is called the Helmet of Zhong. It allows him to have 360 vision so he can always see his ops coming. All of this is being held together by the heart of Zhong, the heart of a real one. It allows you to pretty much bring life to the lifeless and animate inanimate objects. Now we're going to get into my modifications for him. Along with the 2-ton tunic in his defense, I'm also going to give him the reversing mirror as like a shield for his breastplate, allowing anything that is directed at it to be reversed onto the attacker. For the helmet, I'm also going to give him the Shingon Wu called the Wushan Geyser, which allows him to erase the memory of anybody in his vicinity. For his last defensive Shingon Wu, I'm going to give him the Serpent's Tail, which allows him to become intangible, untouchable, just like my dreams and aspirations. Now we're going into the attack power with the close and mid-range Shingon Wu. So along with the Fist of Tebigong and the third arm sash, I'm also going to give him the Claw of the Iron Bear, which would just make up for that missing arm slot because it's annoying me. But it does the exact same thing as the Fist of Tebigong. Along with that, I'm also going to give him the Mikado arms, which essentially just like instant steroids. It makes him so much stronger than what he already is. Then on top of that, I'm going to also give him the Mobi Morpher, which allows him to pretty much change his shape at will to just about anything he can imagine. The next attack power set is going to be for the long-range Shingon Wu. We're going to have the Eye of Dashi, of course, that he already has. He's going to have the Star of Hanabi that allows him to shoot out fireballs. He's going to have the Kazusu Atom, which is one of my favorite Shingon Wu, which is a beam that allows him to just evaporate or just vaporize anything that it comes into contact with. We're also going to have the Thorn of Thunderbolt, which sounds exactly what it is. It can just shoot out thunderbolts. Then we're going to have the Gold Finger from Austin Powers that allows him to pretty much just point, click, and just freeze anything that he comes into contact with. Now we're getting into speed and mobility. Go ahead and get rid of the Jet Butsu. I didn't like them anyway. I'm going to give him the Fancy Feet instead, which allows him to move extremely fast on the ground. Give him the Golden Tiger Claw to allow him to teleport across anywhere in the world he wants to be. Give him the Shard of Lightning that allows him to move at light speed. And just for the hell of it, I'll give him the Wings of Tanabe just so he'll be able to fly. And honestly, it leaves behind like a rainbow vapor trail. But let's face it, there's nothing that can make this man less threatening at this point. Now for the sensory Shingon Wu. He already has 360 vision with the Helmet of Zhong, but we're going to make this even worse. He's going to have the Eagle Scope, which allows him to have a battlefield view like an eagle's eye, as well as the Mind Reader Conch, which does exactly what you think it does. Going to give him the Falcon's Eye, which allows him to not only see very far, but he can also see through solid objects. Then along with that, giving him the Crystal Glasses, which allows him to see into the future, as well as the Fountain of Hui, which allows him to pretty much access all information in the universe that he could possibly want. And usually this vast amount of knowledge would overwhelm somebody's mind. However, this dude is pretty much a mindless monster at this point, so that's not going to have any effect on him. And even if it did, he can use the Ego Scope to just pinpoint what he wants to actually know. So at this point, the dude knows your thoughts. He knows what you're going to do in the future. He can see you wherever you are. He can also just know everything about you and anything else in the world that he wants to know. But wait, there's more. Time for the Elemental Shingon Wu. We're going to give him the Sword of the Storms, which allows him to pretty much manipulate wind, lightning, and any other kind of storm-related power. Give him the Orb of Toonami, which literally allows him to just open the floodgates to flood any area he wants to. The Kajin Charm, which is a Shingon Wu that amplifies water abilities. Give him the Crest of the Condor that can amplify wind abilities. The Longhorn Taurus that can amplify earth abilities. The Cat's Eye Draco can amplify fire. And the Denshi Bunny that allows him to turn his body into pure energy. Wait, where is he going to hold all of these Shingon Wu? I thought about that too. For the storage Shingon Wu, he's going to have the Changing Chopstick, which allows him to transform the size of anything that he shoots the blast at into a grain of rice. And along with that, he can also have the Yin Yang Yo-Yo, which he can then store his Shingon Wu in the Yin Yang world and just draw them out whenever he wants them. Now we go in for the summoning Shingon Wu. For one, he has the Ring of the Nine Dragons, which allows him to pretty much multiply himself at least 9 different times into 9 clones of himself. Funny part was this already happened in the series, which created the Fearsome Four, but now he can turn them into 9. Usually it messes with the mind of the user. However, he can also have that taken care of with the next section I got going on. Don't worry, wait on it. Going back to summoning Shingon Wu, can also have the Sweet Baby Among Us, which is literally a golden baby that shoots out diapers to tangle his opponents and keep them pinned down. We have the Moonstone Locust that allows him to pretty much eat plant life, or it sends out locusts that'll eat all plant life if somebody were to come at him with that kind of ability. We have the Ants in the Pants, which sends out a colony of like possibly millions of ants to just annoy and berate other people. I don't know why I said berate, but besiege other people and just absolutely annoy the crap out of them. And last but not least, we have the Sapphire Dragon, a dragon that is covered in soot, but once it's released, it can pretty much burn people or turn them into sapphire, absorb their power, and then make itself bigger and more powerful. It's usually uncontrollable, but don't worry. Like I said about the Fearsome Four and the Ring of the Nine Dragons, I got a plan for that too. For the control Shingon Wu, these are Shingon Wu that can pretty much control people in some way or another. We got the Xingzon Bone that allows you to turn people into mindless zombies that they can control. We have the Woozy Shooter, which is just a gun that shoots out a toxic gas that can make people go just completely loopy. We have the Ruby of Ramses that allows the user to have telekinesis over anything the Ruby can shine its light on, pretty much. Then the creme de la creme of these Shingon Wu is called the Emperor Scorpion, which allows the user to control any and all types of Shingon Wu. Remember that dragon I mentioned earlier that usually goes out of control? Not a problem. Remember the Ring of the Nine Dragons that makes everybody else kind of weird? Not a problem. He's able to now control every last one of them. For more hacks abilities, we have the Sands of Time, which allows Mala Mala Jong to time travel, the Rio Reverso that allows him to reverse somebody's state to what they were before, meaning he can turn a thing of oil into a dinosaur or a tree into an acorn. So imagine what it does to a person. We have the Shadow of Fear that allows him to enter somebody's dream and bring their greatest nightmares to life. And then last but not least, we have the Empowerment Shingon Wu, and I only have 2 for this one. It's the Sun Chi Lantern that allows him to steal the chi of others if it touches by the sun's light. And then we have the Spear of Yoon, which traps somebody inside an invisible, indestructible shield. And those who are trapped in that shield have their possessions, their skills, their powers, and their abilities taken by Mala Mala Jong as long as they're inside of that sphere, as well as the loyalties of their companions. Whew. And that is basically what I've done to Mala Mala Jong to make him one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful person in Xiaolin Showdown without getting into like Tai Shui, the Cosmic Dragon, and like the Halen Dragon of Chase Young. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like if y'all made it this far. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are goated. And as always, like, I love you guys. Peace.